Yeah, man. You know, that's what I be wanting to do, man. But I don't know, man, because I be wanting to be lazy because I kind of just want to whoop ass for the ball. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get them as many views as they can get. So, you know what I mean? Just so they hold me in Will down. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to do. You know, they kind of let me do what I want to do for the most part. But what I'm trying to do is really like smoke the shit out. You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey man, you know, we gotta, we gotta do X, Y, Z for whatever. And I'm really trying to get them to trust me with that. And shit, we getting that. We getting that. It's annoying, you know what I mean, that I gotta work up to something. You know what I mean? Man, I don't want to push for shit, man. I'm humbly, you know what I mean? Because it's like, we know how to be.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck, real Cowboys fan, stand up. And yo, salute to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all, man. And if you watched the pregame show on Sunday, we was slippy blippy, man. We had some audio issues. We had a lot going on. So I promise y'all, when I get back home, we gonna drop a banger, man. So I had to call out one of my good friends, man. This man needs no introduction. You know, he's one of the people that I look up to in this Cowboys content community, in this draft community. He is breaking barriers right now when it comes to all this content stuff, man. And if you haven't caught him already, definitely check him out on the volume, man. But CFO fam, let's give a warm welcome to my guy, Voch Lombardi in the building. What's going on, Voch? I hear your sound effects coming through. I'm not sure if they can hear. Can y'all hear the sound effects?
They can hear for sure. They can hear me, then they can hear that. What's good with you, sir?
Man, here's the crazy part about the sound effect, man. I'm gonna let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Wakanda Forever, man. Good movie, right? You know what I'm saying? And just in the middle of the movie, they started doing a chant. And I was like, I've heard that chant from somewhere. I was like, oh, that's the Voch chant. That's where you get that sound effect. So as many times as I watch your show, bro, and have heard that war call, I never knew it was from Black Panther. Now, you know what I'm saying? That's partially my fault, man. But I call it the Voch chant.
Well, see, Jay, so what that means to me, and this is terrible for my ego, is that people know this chant from my property more than they know it from a Disney property. You know what I'm saying? So we just don't roll with it, man. We don't roll with that. They belong to Voch and Disney stole it from me. It is what it is.
Right. Facts. Hey, my guy, what you been going on to, man? How you feeling, man?
Shit, tired as hell, volume, you know what I'm saying?
But you grinding, man.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We just been working. The Cowboys winning, and whenever the Cowboys winning, it's good for the people in the chat. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Mickey, Tamara, Sadiqa, because boy, if we was losing, they'll be finding something better to do on their Thursday than to listen to us. So good thing the Cowboys winning, so they can tune into it.
Yeah, so the crazy part, man, I started this whole Cowboys content thing back in 2020 during the pandemic, man. During them Andy Dalton, them Ben DiNucci games, and the chat used to be so unfriendly, man. Okay, it says Voch sounds like you're in a container with the top closed. All right, let me get my guy Voch right. Hold on.
Check. I should be good on my side. Check.
You sound good on my side too. Let's see. Y'all say Voch's audio's off? Let's see here.
Let's get it together. Let's
sound
see.
good. You sound good to me. Hold on. Can y'all hear Voch good or is his audio off?
Hold up. I got you.
Wait a minute. Yep. Is that better?
Yeah, that's clean.
Ah, damn. Well, come on, man. Let's do this again.
Fire back up, bro.
Yeah. I apologize, man. It was the roadcast was tapped into a little something over here. It's cool. We should be good to go now, though. Yeah. Bet y'all hear me now, though.
Yeah, we loud and clear, man. We got the sound effects loaded. We all ready, man. They said he's good, man. They said he's good, bro. Yeah, it happens, man. You know what I'm saying? They said he had reverb. Sounded like he had reverb all the way up. But we good now. We good, chat. We good. All right, much better. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, so, man, I'm going to ask you this question, right? Big Game James had tweeted this. Right now the Dallas Cowboys are coming to a situation where they can win 10 wins for consecutive years for the first time since 95, Voch. So if you look about what we did last year to where we stand this year, are you more confident in this year's team or last year's team?
So the whole 2 winning seasons back to back thing, man, and people don't like when I say this because I sound like a homer, but if Dak and Tony didn't get hurt those years, respectfully, we'll probably have about what 6 years in a row. But you know what I'm saying, dudes get hurt. It is what it is. But the whole which team is better situation, man, it's so crazy. You would think that you lose talent that you would naturally get worse, but I think the one thing that we didn't account for is how fast we get the young guys better. So yeah, we may lose Amari Cooper and we go, damn, we lost Amari Cooper, we lost Brent Urban, we lost Randy Gregory, but we didn't account for the idea of how better Micah got from year 1 to year 2, or Bohanna from year 1 to year 2, or just any of the guys that was on the team last year to now. Damn, Trey Diggs. So draft and develop. That's part of this whole thing, right? Dorrance Armstrong, most dudes not gonna grow like him, where it took him about 4 or 5 years. That's like Kansas guys, right? It took him some years to get going. But what ends up happening is with this strategy, instead of going to go get free agents or whatever, we're drafting dudes. So dudes from 3 years ago are still getting better. 4 years ago, they're all getting better now. So now we just got this collection of dudes that have all just gotten better, and then we'll just do some cleanup here or there. So do I think this team this year is better than the team last year? Absolutely, because that draft class of 8 or so dudes from last year, they all not playing. Damn, a lot of them playing, and they're playing better than a lot. They're playing better now than they did last year. We didn't have a guy like Neville last year, for the whole season. D-Law wasn't even playing. It's knock on wood.
They got the echo again. They say got the echo again.
I got the echo again. Hold on, man. Because I was smoking this, man. I was feeling this.
Where's the echo coming from? Let me see if there's anything on my end. Hold on. I hear you clear. You hella clear on my end.
My roadcaster cool. My echo cancellation is cool. Let me listen to us real quick. Let me see something. So yeah, you probably got to turn me down on one of your settings. I think you got you probably got your desktop audio up and like your other audio up.
So let me turn you down here.
Just turn down one of them and leave the other one up.
All right, so I got you turned down there. And then
check. We good? We good?
Good.
By smoking that robot pack. Oh no.
I still got the echo? Serious echo. Where could the echo be coming from? Let's see here. Cause like I said, I hear you clean. I hear you loud and clear, and you came through even clear. Let's see.
Let me leave out and come back in and see if that works.
All right, bad. We gonna get you right. We gotta get you right. We can't have Roger here. Got him wrong.
Yeah, cause we smoking this.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all said y'all still was in the echo, right? Not sure. Said it sounds a little better. It's okay. It's okay. We gonna rock. They say it still got him some zapping Roger, man. Damn, what's going on with Voch? What's going on with my guy Voch? Hold on. I know technology issues. We go to these live streams, man. Some of these live streams. Let's see. Let's get my guy Voch there. Back here.
Check. Chat box, talk to us. Boom. Chat box. Boom. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
It says he's about to sing Computer Love. It sounds like a mean reverb. Where could the reverb be coming from? I don't know.
Check.
Is it now? Now? They say much better.
I'm still coming through.
So that's the thing. It's like I get so many different. I get better, same. Yeah.
What you using? The stream? You on the restream directly?
Yeah, I'm coming through the restream. The audio's coming through the restream, but I got the Rodecaster Pro set up. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Echo still. What can the echo be? I got you. That's on me. That is on me. Now go, Voch.
Check. We good?
Yeah, we good now. It was on me.
Okay. We gonna give the chat 30 seconds to catch up with.
You good. You should be good now. Can y'all hear him clear? Go ahead, cook up real quick, Voch.
Check 100%. Check.
Yeah, that was on me. That was on me because they put back this new audio thing in my thing, and it's technology issues, man. But we clear. We clear.
My word. So like I was saying,
Go ahead, fire that up, man. Run it back, man.
Hold on, time. Let me see something. Let me open up the YouTube. Just make sure.
Hitman holler, man. Hitman holler.
All right, we good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's rock that again. So more confident in this year's team versus last year's team.
Yeah. They could hear us. They just heard me twice. So they basically got the whole gist of what I was saying. But the young dudes that was on the team last year, they're better now. The dudes that was hurt on the team last year, whether that be D-Law, Neville Gallimore, you know what I'm saying, those guys, they're playing now. And you know, JK is playing good now. Donovan's playing better now. And I think last year those dudes weren't really tied into their roles. You know what I mean? Like they didn't really, like they was learning Dan on the go. Now we're rushing Micah more. J-Ron Curse has his role, sold up. So yeah, we may not be as talented on offense, but as long as our scheme is working, I mean, we good to go. Plus we trust Tony, and that just happened. What, 4 weeks ago? You know what I mean? So I think all those things, probably add up to this team probably being a little better than last year's team.
Yeah, and I think that's the hard part, Voch. I said this on Twitter. It's like I feel like I trust that the Cowboys are going to use what they have in house a lot better than what they did last year. Because last year we was just doing stuff, but I feel like what kind of happened when we lost Dak Prescott. We were starting to lean on the running game, as you mentioned, with Tony Pollard and also Ezekiel Elliott. So now it's hopefully the mentality is when we go into playoffs, that's our identity. So do you think that is the identity of the Dallas Cowboys, that we are a run team with a solid defense? Or is it still going to be Kellen Moore and Bobby Drake? Is it still going to be Kellen Moore itching to pass? Because I know that was a whole conversation with one Odell back. It's like, do we really even need Odell with the way everything's going? And we run this kind of power formation with 13 personnel, 12 personnel, Zeke and Pollard.
It's funny, man. While we're watching the game, we're Cowboy fans, so we want to grade it critically. Like, we grade it play by play. But before you know it, you'll just be watching the game, and just before you know it, like, we winning by 14. You're like, when this happened? We started winning by 21.
I was at the game Sunday. I just looked up, and it was just like, damn, 54.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So this be happening on my live streams too, man. Just anybody that'll be tuned in, we'll be watching the game. I'm like, man, Dak's short throwing the ball a lot. And before, you just look at the end of the game script, Zeke and Tony both got their 15 carries, 15, 17 carries. Tony got 6 catches, and they just been rushing for 200 yards, for the past couple of weeks. And I'm like, man, where did we get 200 rushing yards from? So I think our identity is a run first team. But Kellen does get the itch, man. He does, he want to do a double reverse. He want to make CD Lamb throw the ball. He want, to not use Turpin on one of these fake jet sweep triple motions or whatever. But for the most part, we're running the football, and Dak is putting the ball where it needs to go. We're using 4 tight ends, and that's cool with me. Sean McEwen's doing all right, and we just playing some tough ass defense. So I think as long as we using Tony, and as long as CD getting his targets, I think we'll be good to go on offense.
Yeah, and me too, man. And I think that from the reports we've seen on Twitter and online right now is that there's a possibility that we get James Washington back. But from your lens, Voch, do you think that we need a stretch to field guy? Like, you think is that a necessity, or is it kind of just a want that Cowboys are used to having in Dallas, and that's what we're kind of aiming for?
To be fair, if Dak only gets 30 attempts in a game, right? He gets 30 attempts, then 10 of them targets going to CD? Schultz probably get 6. Gallup's probably going to get 5. We're going to run the ball a whole bunch. It's not really a whole bunch of extra targets to go around anyway. So if you Noah Brown, so if you're Noah Brown, at least you play kicking teams, right? At least you do that. So if you Noah Brown, so if you're James Washington and you not playing punch, you ain't playing kick, you don't return the ball or nothing, then you're not as useful to us. You're just a wide receiver, just there to be wide receiver. Jalen Tolbert's doing that right now. Jalen Tolbert is taking up your wide receiver just to be a wide receiver spot, and he ain't even playing. So James Washington, I don't see a place where James Washington is going to come in and help us. And I don't want to throw the ball more just to throw the ball to James Washington. Shouts out to him. Which is why I don't think the Odell Beckham thing is so much of an emergency. Like, it'll be cool to have him. It'll just be one more mismatch. But I think he'll only get about 5 opportunities a game anyway, just to be the dude one-on-one there. If we just take care of the ball and not shoot ourselves in the foot, and we block well up front, and no dumb penalties and things like that. As an offense, we're going to be fine regardless. We're going to play good defense. We're going to do our thing on offense. Tyron Smith coming back and Tyler moving back to left guard is going to be bigger than Odell.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and get your thoughts, because you're the offensive line guy. Like, when I need to come to the offensive line, man, Voch is who I come to, right? Because he played the position. So having Tyler Smith at left guard and moving Tyron Smith out to left tackle, if healthy, which it sounds like he is, what do you think that's going to do to our offensive line from just overall? Because I feel like Tyler, be honest, I know a lot of people had the bullseye on Tyler. He's played well this season. Zach Martin, you know what I'm saying? And then you also had Terrence Steele, who stepped in for L. Collins, and I feel like he's playing his best football as well. So what is this switch going to do to our offensive line that you think?
So the one thing that we can't do, J-Tuck, and listen, man, I done lost a lot of good rest over this, man. I don't want the Cowboys to overthink this and make this a Connor McGovern and Tyler Smith compete for left guard thing. That'll just drive me up a wall. I'll just be sick of it.
Right.
Tyler Smith at left tackle is fine. He's a fine player at left tackle, but I'm trying to maximize my output here.
Right.
So Tyron Smith is the best tackle on the team. Barton is what it is. Tyler is a better guard than Connor McGovern, right? So by simply having Tyron Smith back, you get better at two spots. That's 40% of your offensive line, man. I can do easy math like that. That's 40%.
Right.
So you can then have your left side mirror your right side. I love what you said about Terrence Steele over there. Will Steele, little cousin. I'm glad what you said about him, because he is playing his best football right, man. He's your second best offensive lineman right now, right behind Zach Martin. So if you could get your right side, who is Super Bowl ready right now, just in my personal opinion, to look just like if you get your left side to look like your right side, then you on to something. You cooking with some grease. You going to Golden Corral if you can get that. Connor McGovern is probably not going to get as much movement as Tyler Smith, and then Tyler Smith is not going to be as man, those are just two different fights, man. Tackle is a lot of chess moves. It's a lot of spacing. It's a lot of tactics that are out there, and Tyron Smith just knows those tactics. He's fantastic at it. But guard, you just fighting in a booth.
Right.
And Tyler Smith, I just want to see him wrestle Zach Martin just to kind of see what it looks like. But Tyler Smith is best. He's so naturally strong. He is best built to deal with them guard exchanges on the inside. So your left side should be as good as your right side. Plus, we don't take as many sacks anyway, because Dak gets rid of the ball quickly, but we still 32nd, probably like 30th now, and pass rush win rate. So that means regardless of us pass blocking badly, which is a lot of our left side, Dak Prescott still gets the ball out quickly. So you want to talk about deep threat with James Washington. What'll make us a better deep passing team is Dak Prescott being able to hold the ball just a little bit longer, and then we'll get passes downfield to CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, whoever the hell he wants to.
Yeah, so you're all for the move Tyler Smith back to left guard. I see some people was like, man, you can't move him. I'm like, nah, bro, like that was his original position where he was supposed to play. Now, here's my concern, Voch. We all know how the Cowboys do with politics sometimes, and for some reason, they favor Connor McGovern. Because think about this. If you go back to when you guys were out there in camp, they were leaning towards Connor McGovern being the starter, right? I feel like things kind of happened where, you had Matt Waletzko go down, you had Tyron Smith go down, then they moved Tyler Smith out to left tackle, and Connor McGovern was still playing that left guard position. But because I know me personally, when I thought we got Jason Peters, I thought that's when they were going to make the move, having Peters at left tackle and then moving Tyler in the left guard, but they didn't do it. So, two questions. Do you see possibility of Connor McGovern still remaining at left guard? And they probably do that weird substitution mess they did last year. I remember on Thanksgiving they were substituting like we was the Mavericks. And then secondly, bro, do you think that Tyler Smith is more suited to be the future left tackle of the Dallas Cowboys or the left guard?
Well, they better not do a whole bunch of politicking. Look, man, Connor McGovern I appreciate what he's done. Thank you for your service, sir.
Right.
We were put in a bad situation where young Tyler had to go play tackle way before he was ready to. I get it. But you were being trained to be a swing tackle, sir. I mean, a swing interior player, sir. You even got guards at center. You even got reps at center at the end of the game last week. So you can go on back to being swing interior dude, Connor McGovern. We don't owe you nothing. At the end of the year, we ain't gonna throw you no money. You probably gonna be playing in Jacksonville next week. next year. Pardon me. It is what it is. Appreciate you, Connor McGovern. Tyler Smith is the future. I don't want him being, put on the bench. Let's just respect Connor McGovern. No, that's not. This is the big boy leagues, and and the best of the best are going to play. So put Connor McGovern on the sideline over there with the rest of the guys. With Collins and the other little boys is just over there chilling. Let Tyler Smith just kind of live in this role. Now, for the future of Tyler Smith, I'm an offensive line guy, J-Tuck, and I understand everybody love they tackles and all that, but I think your interior is what is really where you put the satin on the panties. You know what I mean? You can live with iffy tackle play because you could do so many things, pocket wise, right? You can move the pocket, you can step up in the pocket, you can roll guys out, you can get tight end help, right? But the Cowboys were at their best when the interior was solid, right? You know what I mean? So in my mind, Tyler Smith can play tackle. Zach Martin can also play tackle.
Right, we saw that.
You know what I mean? Right. You can. Tyler Biotis could probably play a little bit of tackle, right? But we're talking about maximum output. So when we looking in draft season next year, I ain't looking for a guard because I want Tyler Smith to be my best guard. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he can do it, but he's a Pro Bowl guard today, in my personal opinion. Based on him just throwing dudes out the club and his athletic ability, he can be a Pro Bowl guard today. And I just want to reserve tackles to, natural tackles. I don't want Tyler to have to learn how to play tackle. Tackle just so you're really born to play tackle. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, Tyler will be fine. Just let him be a Pro Bowl guard and go find me a Pro Bowl tackle somewhere, and we'll just go be great.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Because I feel like when it comes to Tyler Smith, even when we scouted him, way back in draft season coming out of Tulsa, like just dancing, that ain't his. That's just not his forte, right? He's just a bully, a phone booth bully, and we got to put him back in the best spot for him to actually, excel. And I feel like it's going to be at the left guard position as well. Like I said, my biggest concern was we were coming into camp, and I'm like, he wasn't getting no starting reps, right? But I feel like that's going to be him moving forward. Now, I want to go over to the defensive side of the ball, speaking of draft season, right? Because this is another player that you were very high on coming out the 2020 draft, and I feel like things are going to be a little bit more important for him with this new opportunity with Anthony Brown going out, and that's Kelvin Joseph. So what is your thoughts on Kelvin Joseph? I know Cowboys fans, they're high, they're low. Some people hate him, some people love him. You were high on him coming out the draft. So what do you think is really going to happen with this opportunity that Kelvin Joseph has in front of him moving forward, the cornerback 2 position?
Well, shit, we can't hate Kelvin Joseph because we ain't really seen him. You know what I mean? Like we'll see a little bit of him here and there. We'll see spot duty here. We'll see this and that. But he had the little situation in the offseason, and people were worried if he was going to, enjoy football, if he was going to play football, was he going to be focused? And he's been killing things as a punt gunner, kick team guy. You know what I mean? And I hate how much I use this word, but it's my favorite word, man. If there's any impediment to this defense, it's run game and throwing deep passes versus cornerback number 2. Now, run game ain't bad because of your interior offensive lineman. Run game is bad because they'll get these runs to the outside. They'll pull big dudes, and big dudes end up on little dudes. So if you're not a tenacious tackler at the cornerback position, you're going to run into some problems. Deron Bland is a tenacious tackler. Trey Diggs is not, but Trey Diggs earned his money elsewhere. In my mind, if Kelvin Joseph can simply not get picked on, not get beat up on, if Kelvin Joseph can just be that tenacious tackler that he is in, punt gunning and all that type of stuff, then Kelvin Joseph will be just fine at corner. But what we get with this opportunity with Kelvin Joseph is that we really get to figure out who he really is. I'm pixelating like a mug, so as soon as I get done making this point, I'm gonna hit refresh and come back in.
All right, bet.
So what we get with Kelvin Joseph is that we finally get to realize who he is. So these last 9 games, 8 games, if we get the bye week or whatever, that's, now we get to truly, because, Deron Bland is your nickel corner for the future. There's no conversation about Deron, but he can even play outside if we need him to. But we're going to learn quickly if we need to draft corner next year, in which you're going to be told so guy with whole Sante Samuel thing, but we'll know if Kelvin Joseph, if Kelvin's going to be a dude for you or not.
Yeah, go ahead and refresh my guy. I agree, man. I feel like for Cowboys fans, and I said this in my last video, that I'm at the situation, Cowboys Nation, we ain't got no choice but to trust Kelvin Joseph. But I feel like with given the opportunity, he's going to step up and rise to the occasion. I feel like some players, they just game day players, right? He's not the best practice player, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like Kelvin Joseph was given the opportunity, and I feel like he feels the spotlight, right? He feels like this is his moment to really shine, and it's going to give us our chance to really observe and see, is he going to be the guy of the future moving forward? They say technical difficulties kicking Voch's ass today. It's all right, man. We still bad.
All week, man. All week has been going on over here, but we don't fix it.
Yeah, we good, man. So yeah, so speaking of the cornerback position, though, do you think that it's an area that the Cowboys need to address outside of Kelvin Joseph? Because he didn't practice yesterday because he was sick. I didn't see the practice report today, but he's had some illnesses. So if Kelvin Joseph doesn't work out, Voch, what is our backup plan?
Well, if Kelvin Joseph doesn't work, Nashawn Wright probably got 5 plays before we bench him. But Kendall Sheffield's a guy that Dan Quinn has coached before, and I'm sure that he trusts him. So if it doesn't work with Kelvin, then it'll go with Nashawn, then it's going to be Sheffield. And if it go worst case scenario, Alexander would just be your new nickel guy, and maybe Deron Bland will be playing outside for you. There's a lot of corners we got, and we got a lot more corners that do outside things as opposed to nickel things. So we got a long list of outside dudes that can play for you. But man, it'll have to be a worst case scenario to get that far down the list. So I think it's either going to be Kelvin Joseph or Kendall Sheffield. I think Nashawn Wright.
He's that.
Yeah, we probably overdrafted the shit out of him, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we can always do that draft talk, man, when it comes to that 2020 draft. So I said that Kelvin Joseph did practice today, so I guess he's back healthy. And let me know, y'all, did Sam Williams actually practice today? Because I know he's been kind of sick, but
not yet for Sam. Not yet for Sam. Okay. And then when it comes to Izzy Mukuamu, I know a lot of people's been asking me, because he played corner, in college, would you consider converting him back to get him on the field, or you leave him at safety? He's a dude that's been active, but I think Dan really likes to use him as safety and as big nickel guy. So yeah, Izzy been playing, but do you want to move him around that much? So I don't foresee us using him as an outside guy. I don't mind him using him as an outside guy, but I think once he's become acclimated to this new role, so just putting him back out there because that's what he played in college. South Carolina, or whatever, just because he was, just because he was out there in college. I wouldn't do it. I would just keep him where he's been and just keep the dudes that have been outside.
Yeah, I agree. There's too much switching. We ain't seen that with Byron Jones and what was his name, Reggie Robinson. He went to safety corner. Like, just leave him where he's at, because I feel like he's thriving where he's at currently. Now, Voch, we are coming up on the season, man. We're getting to the dark ages of the fourth quarter, right? We got Houston on Sunday, we got the Jaguars, and we got that game on Christmas Eve. Do you feel like there's any concerns when you look at our schedule that, hey, this is Black Ice?
Beat the shit out the Eagles, boy.
Hey, but fire it up. Hey.
My bad.
Okay. Hey, we load up the clips, man. Hey, we gonna get to that game. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to that game. But when you look at this schedule, like, is there any games that kind of all right, that kind of concerns me? Because I know some Cowboys fans, like me personally, Voch, I don't like these games like we got on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? The games where we should beat the dog, out of the Houston Texans. We just never do what we're supposed to do. We always play with our food a little bit. So when you look at this schedule, is there anything that kind of looks like, all right, I'm not sure about this one, or you think there's a possibility the Cowboys could run the slate moving forward?
Man, if anybody beats the Cowboys, it's us. It's always penalties, turnovers, shooting ourselves in the foot. It's that kind of nature, right? It's rarely have I just seen teams just whoop us. It happens sometimes, whether it be Tampa Bay, it be San Francisco. Sometimes it's rare that teams just roll up and just smoke the hell out of us, but we're the ones that's beating ourselves for the most part. So if we have a rough day with the Houston Texans, it'll be our fault. If we have a rough day with the Jaguars, it'll be our fault. What I do like about the end of the season, with the Eagles and then Titans and then Washington Football Wizards. What I do like about those last 3 games is that it sets the tone for what playoffs are going to look like. Right. So even when we get to the playoffs, it's going to be tough D-line dudes in all of them playoffs. Right. Whether it be Washington, Giants, Eagles again, Niners again, Bucks again, Vikings again, a little less Vikings, and the Vikings may have the worst D-line in the playoffs, but those are probably what what those D-lines are probably going to look like. So we get 3 physical teams in a row, man. 3 physical teams in a row that's kind of prepping us for the next go. So if there's any part of the schedule I like, it is those last 3. And hopefully I think the team can be focused, man, because there's something big that they're actually playing for. If we're playing the Texans and we're in first place and we ain't got nothing to gain, then that's the thing. But we kind of got to be perfect because we need the Eagles and the Vikings to lose one game, and then we got to like control our own destiny to have bye week at the end of this thing. So I think they'll be focused. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I hope so. But I know a lot of Cowboys fans, man, they got this weird thing, right? It's like they don't want to go into the playoffs undefeated, right? But I was like, at the end of the day, y'all, you want to go into the playoffs playing your best football. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like me personally, the Philly game, that's the one I have circled, and also that Titans game. Because I feel like the Titans is like our JV 49ers matchup. You know what I'm saying? We can kind of get that matchup versus the 49ers possibly. But I think that we're going to be headed towards Tampa, unfortunately, because I just don't think the Falcons are going to be able to handle business. But do you have a preference? Like, do you want to play at home, on the road preference? Like, what is your playoff preference?
So, Jay Tuck, peep this out, man. I don't care who the first game is going to be, right? And look, it could be the Vikings lose some games. We end up being the second seed, and we end up playing all of the East or whatever. Just play Washington again. Play Giants, but that could be whatever, right?
Right.
I don't care who the first. I don't care who the wild card game is. I don't care about the divisional game. I want Philly in the conference championship game, right? Because it's one thing to beat the Eagles in week 16. It's one thing to beat them during the season. I want to take their soul right before the Super Bowl. That's what I want from them. I want the Eagles to get like an easy game. I want the Eagles to get like Washington or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that first week, and they go, all right, we in the NFC Championship game, Cowboys versus Eagles, and then I want the Cowboys to just rip the soul from them to advance us to the Super Bowl and to keep them out. If I had a preference, that's what I would like, Jake. But I will take Super Bowl appearance however I can get it.
Man, I'm with you, Roger. I'll take it any way I can get it, but I would love that. And I feel like you're going to have to go through Philly. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like as of right now, unless they slide, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, they can maybe get caught, you know what I'm saying, by the Giants, you know what I'm saying, something like that. But, if they do win the division and they have that first round bye, you're going to have to probably go through Philly, which I don't mind. I just don't fear the Eagles, you know what I'm saying? So we're not about to talk about the Eagles, even though we got all the Eagles fans in the chat. Salute to them. Sure. But, is there anything, like you said, Odell Beckham Jr., Kellen Moore kind of stand in the way, like the Cowboys are in the Cowboys' way of reaching that ultimate goal of getting to the championship. But if there's like a few things that Voch is like, I could add this and then boom, it's going to help us, our situation, what would be that you add?
We just got to be clean, man. Like, and listen, and that's how good this team can be, man. That's how good this team can be, man. Like we ain't got to, man. Just play ball, play ball. Like I don't know what the points per game is for the defense at this point. It was, if we score more than 20, then we'll be fine. So I don't know what it is for the defense now. But just think about this: the two games that Cowboy fans would consider a bad day for Dak Prescott, we still scored 28 points, man.
Right.
We still scored 28 points when the offense, and that's that was Green Bay and whatever, I think it was Giants or something, whatever it was. But on those alleged bad days, we still dropped 28 points, bro. So we can put points on the board
on bad days.
Right? On bad days. And then there's defense that's going to keep the score down on the other side, man. If we just don't shoot ourselves in the foot, we good, man. And, I don't mind, penalties like holding because, Coach always told me that holding is like effort penalties. You know what I mean? But we don't need to be hitting people out of bounds. We don't need to be false starting. Jalen Tolbert don't need to be lining up at corner and stuff like that. Just these easy, just give the game away penalties, man.
Special teams.
Specialty, little nonsense like that, bro. If we just stick to what we do and we just execute, man, the Cowboys gonna be tough to beat by anybody.
And that's the hard part. You just don't know. I just never know what Cowboys team is going to show up on Sunday, man. I think that's the scary part for a lot of Cowboys fans, because even coming off that 49ers loss last year, right, a lot of us really just didn't know what happened, Voch. You know what I'm saying? It took me a minute to go back and watch that game. So I feel like a lot of Cowboys fans have just been waiting to see this Cowboys team in the postseason, right? But it's just like, I feel like the Green Bay kind of took some air out of me, right? Because I was like, all right, this is going to be a legit team. Here we are. But then the Green Bay is like, all right, there's the same old, same old. So do you think that this Cowboys team is something different? or is it going to be the same old? Are you still seeing the same old? Like, or do you still, like, that's the thing. Me personally, I just haven't seen that game where it's like, all right, things are different. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same.
Shit. I mean, dog. Minnesota is a heck of a statement
because
game.
Minnesota is Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think I would like to see how we came out with our backs to the wall against Minnesota after that Green Bay loss. But like last year, like I tell people when I was out there in Tampa, bro, week 1. That team just looked different, you know what I'm saying? And then you had the Patriots game last year, and then you had, even the game versus Philly, the first, like, so you had some of those games. It was like, all right, but I'm just waiting. So maybe it's going to be the Christmas Eve game where I was like, all right, this Cowboys team is different, but like, I don't know. It's just hard.
Well, the game versus the Eagles is, that's definitely going to be good for, fans' confidence or whatnot. But I just remember, like I'm doing these live streams, man, the game day streams. Y'all go watch it, man. Sometimes, man, it was like the Vikings game, this game, the game last week, just whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm just sitting up here watching, man. I'm like, man, if we just keep doing this, you know what I mean? Like, normally, all right, look, so this would have happened, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody will score. I'll walk you through it. Somebody will score. I'll hit this button. City ball, right? City ball. And then I'll cut some music on and I start celebrating this shit. And I'm talking crazy, J Tuck. Right. And I'm like, look at what we just did, J Tuck. And right. And like, that's cool, right? But that Vikings game, when we just kept smoking the Vikings, J Tuck.
Right.
I put the music on. I just sat back and I just went, man, if this is what we do every time.
Right.
If we do this every time.
Right.
Listen to Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher, J-Tuck.
Huh? Yeah, listen
Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher. On the way to the plug house, he had a line, right? He said, you make your first 10 bands, let's applaud the brother. But if you do that 10 times, then you on to something, right? Mm-hmm. And I took that line and I had a whole monologue about it. I won't do it again, right? But what we've been doing to these teams is to applaud. Like it is to be applauded, J-Tuck. We've done some great things. But if we simply do this, now it's like 8 more times. If we do that 8 more times, J-Tuck, if we run the football, if Dak is surgical, if we sack the quarterback, if we stop the run, if our cornerbacks are coming down and tackling, who's gonna stop that?
I agree.
Who's gonna stop that?
Kellen Moore.
That'll be it. But look, J-Tuck, we'll even have a time to where Kellen Moore call a goofy little reverse, but we'll still work our way out of it just by running the offense, just operating the offense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I could be pessimistic Cowboy fan, like, the same old Cowboys will beat the hell out of who's out of Houston or something. Right. But when the games matter, we'll lose them. But man, I think we've played some playoff teams and we beat them. You know what I mean? And I just think it's small things, like we're just making field goals now. You know what I mean? Right. Like we're actually giving Tony Pollard the ball now. We're getting sacks now. You know what I'm saying? So I think all those things are gonna equal up to being a little different. But we'll see week 16 or so.
Yeah, and I agree with you, bro. Like it's just hard to buy in and get that Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying? To fully drink the Kool-Aid, yeah. So it sounds like you fully drunk in the Kool-Aid, right? You all in.
I don't like the term Kool-Aid, but I just think we got enough evidence. We have an offense that's at the top of the league. We got a defense at the top of the league. I think if we play well versus anybody, I don't think that's Kool-Aid. If we play our game versus anybody, we'll be fine.
Right. If we play our game, I feel like talent for talent, pound for pound, we can beat any team in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I never know what Dallas Cowboys team going to show up. So you have this confidence level going into the playoffs where we currently stand right now. What's your thoughts on Mike McCarthy, bro? Has he done enough to prove that he's the future coach of the Dallas Cowboys, or do we still have to wait until the playoffs come for him to solidify himself?
Man, we got to show respect to Mike McCarthy, man. We can't just sit up here and act like Mike McCarthy hasn't done anything. You know what I mean? Like, for like half of his games here, he's played with Andy Dalton and, Cooper Rush and those guys. You know what I mean? So just the fact that he, like when he has Dak, he ain't losing a whole bunch of games. You know what I mean? So just the idea that
in the water.
For sure. Like, and I just remember Mike McCarthy saying that, like, hey man, we're gonna run the football. Like, we're gonna run the ball. Like that's one of the first things he said when he first got here. And it took him a little bit to get his culture going because his quarterback got hurt. But man, I think this is what his ultimate vision was. We're gonna run the ball, we're gonna play defense, and Dak's gonna put the ball wherever it needs to be. And hell man, you just gotta look at that at that culture. You got to look at how neutral the team is. You got to look at overcoming adversity. Look, all this little 1C stuff we talking, it wouldn't be a thing if they didn't coach themselves out of that hole. So, shouts out to Mike McCarthy. Man. He gets a lot of respect from me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I said the same thing. I say he needs to probably be considered for Coach of the Year, but he probably ain't gonna get it though. Because I mean, you lose Dak Prescott, you lose the starting quarterback, you beat the Bengals, who now Voch, everybody loves the Bengals, man. But about a week ago when the Cowboys beat them, it was just, just wasn't a good win. But now everyone got the Bengals as their favorite in the AFC because after they beat Kansas City. But you know how it goes in Dallas, man. But, I feel like Mike McCarthy has earned a spot because he's come under that pressure because everybody was talking about Dan Quinn this or Sean Payton that. And here we are, 9-3 and getting ready to fight for what should be, playoff contention with Mike McCarthy. So hats off to him. Hats off to Dan Quinn and his coaching staff. Now, I want to go to the offensive side of the ball, man, because we talked about Mike, we talked about Kelvin. When you look at this offense now, do you think that Mike has his fingers in this offense a lot more? Because I know there's all that conversation. I think it was after the might have been the Bucks game, right? When Mike said, he's going to kind of pull the reins on Kellen Moore. So do you think he's having hands-on more approach with the offense, or is it just that, Kellen's being more strategic with his play calling?
I wouldn't say hands-on with the play call or anything like that, because Mike McCarthy came out and told you, look, I don't know the verbiage for the plays. So I just let Kellen do it. But I do think Mike McCarthy does stand next to Kellen Moore, like, hey man, look, just don't get cute right here. Hey man, just run the ball right here. Hey man, in this situation, just don't go crazy. Just do this. Right. He doesn't tell Kellen what to call, but he'll go, yo, Kellen, these option routes, can't do it. Not gonna be able to do it. Get that out of there. So he probably has it.
Can you explain what an option route, man? Because you do a lot of great content explain just like football verbiage. For some viewers, they don't understand when I talk about option route versus digit route. So can you explain that concept to some people?
So with a so like normal route concepts, right? It'll be we're trying to isolate one particular part of the field or like one like player, right? So what we'll do is we'll be like, okay, so in cover 3, we know somebody's going to be in the flats. So just like a regular offensive read, it'll be one dude behind that dude in the flats and one dude to the right of him. If the corner goes to the right dude, then you throw it to the dude behind him. If he goes to the behind dude, then he'll, then you'll just throw the ball to the opposite guy. You're basically throwing the ball where the defense is not. Right. So that's really only your quarterback thinking. The wide receiver is just going to do what it's going to do. These option routes it's more so 1-on-1, but your route changes based on what the defense is doing. So instead of us attacking the flats with 2 people, we're just attacking the flats with a route that could go 2 ways. So if you disappear, then you just sit down and you just get the football. Or if they sit on you, then that route, it turns into like an end breaking route or something like that. The problems with these option routes is like if it's Tony Romo and Jason Witten that have been playing 9 years together, right? Then it's probably down to 1, 2. Okay, I know exactly where you're going. Right. But Dak and CD, to be fair, they haven't been playing together a whole bunch. Right. So you don't want CD and Dak thinking, because it just looks like CD might be one of these Dez players that just don't need to be thinking. You just need to be getting the ball to him. Taking option routes out of there is taking away the fact that Dak and CD got to be on the same page at the same time.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, like, so do you think that's what's been leading to some of these miscues when you look at what's going on with CD? And also, looks like you'll chop your game, man. Drop out and come back in, man.
Got you.
Get you right.
We go get that.
Get you right. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Keep the questions coming, man. I appreciate y'all. Keeping things lit with my guy, Voch Lombardi, man, from the Volume. Definitely check out my guy if you haven't already. Y'all know what my guy Voch is, man. There we go.
Appreciate you. So I'm still looking kind of funny.
Nah, you clean. You clean now.
We cool. Okay, so I don't think it's the latest line of interceptions from Dak Prescott. And look, this could be me being biased, but I feel like if Dak is throwing 7 of them, I think 6 of them not his fault. I just think that CD is just having mental lapses, or CD or just Schultz are just having mental lapses. And, I do think a lot of it comes from Dak trying to just do more. Or Dak just trying to make the attempt to do more. There's a lot of Cowboy fans be like, well, Dak doesn't throw with anticipation. Dak doesn't throw guys open. That's false. If you watch the film, Dak is getting the ball out prior to them making their cuts. Right. It's just that CD got to be in the right place when Dak gets the ball to him, which goes back to training camp. This whole Dennis Houston thing, right? Remember Dennis Houston conversation?
He said, Dak said it. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
right where he needs to be. You know what I'm saying?
He's right where he needs to be, right? And Dak likes him. And when we talk about roster building, like, who cares who Dak like? What about the better dude? Well, we see that sometimes, when your wide receiver and your quarterback not on the same page, then that's where a lot of the problem could be, which is probably why, Cooper Rush throws to Noah Brown more than he throws to Dalton Schultz, and and Dak throws to Dalton Schultz more than he throws to Noah Brown. It's just sometimes, if you know where a guy's going to be, you just trust him a little more. And CD just happened to be too talented where you just can't not throw to him. Right. So instead of putting CD in situations where he got to think a whole bunch, I think we should just do some AJ Brown stuff. Just kind of get the ball to him, let him do yak things. And that's not a diss to AJ Brown, but the Eagles found something that's working for them, and that's just how that just works.
Right.
Let's just not have CD thinking. Let's just give the ball to CD and just let him go.
Right. I agree. And I think, a lot of people was asking me this about the development of Jalen Tolbert. I kind of like Jalen Tolbert coming out in this draft, but he just hasn't progressed. Do you think that's probably why? It's just that the option route and the concepts of learning, where to be and being in the proper spot is what's been limiting him and slowing him down. Because I feel like the ability is there, Voch, but it's just like the mental aspect of playing wide receiver at this level, and especially in this offense, is what's probably slowing him down. What's your thoughts on Tolbert?
Tolbert got to stop lining up at corner in the first place. But if you go back and look at South Alabama's offense, man, it looked like an offense that South Alabama would run. So it's probably a lot of things that goes on with this offense that Jalen Tolbert just not getting down, which is fine. He's a rookie. Like I said, players are going to develop more like Dorrance Armstrong than Michael Parsons. There's no guarantee that Jalen Tolbert was going to be ready for you, this year. I just, sometimes in this offense in particular, I know this, these aren't necessarily option routes or whatever, how I'm about to say this, but your route can look different based on the leverage of the guys that's lined up on defense or whatever. So that's just one extra thing to think about. It's an easy thing to think about, but it is something extra to think about. And maybe Jalen Tolbert just ain't to a place where he's thinking about things properly. Is he more talented than James Washington or something? Yeah, he's probably more talented than James Washington. We've seen Jalen Tolbert's film. We're draft guys. Right. Jalen Tolbert's talent ain't just go away. It didn't just leave. You know what I mean? I just think he has to just figure out the big boy side of the game. He'll be all right.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I did the film breakdown, what's going on with him. It's just like they just don't trust him as of right now. It's just not his time. But when it comes to that wide receiver 3, do you think it's really just going to be Noah Brown moving forward and that's what we have to roll with? Or do you think there's going to be a chance that James Washington can step in? Because here's the tricky part. If you bring James Washington onto this roster, somebody has to go. You know what I'm saying? So would you sacrifice, Tolbert? Like, what would be the move for you?
The way I see it, Dalton Schultz is your wide receiver 3, and Jake Ferguson is your tight end 1.
Okay.
In my mind, what I mean? Just based on how much Dak is using them. And look, our new offensive algorithm, we may not lean on 11 personnel like everybody else does. Why? Because we probably ain't got 3 receivers that we trust like that for real. We probably could do a bunch of 11 personnel because Dak is a guy that can do it. But hell, man, I like what we do with these tight ends and the tight end mismatches that we're doing. As long as we got 4 make everything work. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah, everything. With somebody else, you may need to run 11 personnel, but 4 can get these tight ends working because at the end of the day, I want you to hand the ball off to Zeke or Tony anyway. Right. And, when it is time to throw the football, just throw to the open guy and not overthink it.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I think that, what I'm saying, with the running game, and I've been saying this on my channel, the running game opens up everything else offensively, right? You get the RPOs, you get the play action, like you can get Dak moving outside the pocket. Now that Dak's using his legs, man, I feel like he's more deadlier than ever. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been like, all right, Dak, I know last year kind of had the ankle thing, so we're kind of cautious with it, but Dak's out there moving. So it adds a new dynamic to our offense. And now you have Zeke and you have Pollard, and they're moving as well. People are asking in the chat, Voch, what is your thoughts on Turpin? Is he just a special teams guy, little lucky whitehead, jet sweep on occasion, or will we ever see him actually be involved as a quote-unquote wide receiver in this offense?
My whole thing about Turpin is that I think the easy answer is let's get Turpin involved, right? Like, that's the easy answer. But like, if I had to stop and really like theorize about why he's not being used, maybe when Turpin's in the game, it's only a handful of things that you could do with him. And you don't want to be in a situation where, they got Turpin out there, we know we about to do with him, right? Like, for example, when Lucky Whitehead came out, we know exactly what time of day it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
When Jordan Lewis come on offense, boy, we know exactly what time of day it is
Right.
when Jordan Lewis, he go in motion. Oh, we know what to do, right?
Right.
So I think half of the problem is trying to get Jalen Tolbert to do wide receiver things so he's not just predictable. He's not just jet guy or
Right.
motion guy or like third option guy, triple option guy. So I think Turpin may not just do wide receiver things as well as some other guys may do it. Then it could be a personnel thing. Do you want to get Turpin on the field, or would you rather just like throw the ball with Ferguson?
Right.
If you do put Turpin on the field, how many plays can you run with him? You may have 4 plays that you can run with Turpin, but with Ferguson on the field, you got 100 plays. You got all the plays,
Right.
and Ferguson can block for you. Ferguson can catch the ball. If Turpin's out there, he's getting the ball quick and trying to be faster than everybody else. So I just think we're looking for a place to use them. Now there's the other Illuminati theory. Kellen saving the good plays for the playoffs.
There you go. I remember that one last year, man. Man, Chuck, relax, man. Kelly gonna be in his bag in the playoffs, man. That black bag was empty, bro.
Well, Devontae Turpin to be sitting his ass down when it's time to go play football in the playoffs, boy.
Yeah.
But it's just, hey, I don't see the offense really lacking anything. So if you can put me in a world to where Turpin can do some wide receiver things for you, so that his job is not so predictable, then yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like, and I'm asking you this too, Voch, you know what I'm saying? We got Houston, we got the Jaguars, so we should come out and not play with our food and handle business. So what would be some rookies that are younger guys that you would like to get a lot of reps to get prepared for that tough part of the season that's coming up with the Philly, the Titans, and Washington, and also the playoffs, that you think really needs to get reps and really need to focus on?
Well, Kelvin needs as many reps as he can get.
Right.
Tyler needs as many guard reps as he can get. I think Sam Williams has already worked his way into the rotation where we can kick dudes off the field like Basham. Like Basham ain't even here no more because Sam Williams has grown into who he is. Man, if you want to get Nashawn some reps, for like emergency purposes, then you can probably do that a little bit. But for the most part, I think anybody that we need to be used, I think we use them already. But look, to answer your question, let me just go back to Shell. Look, put Tolbert at one receiver, put Turpin at the other one, and just throw the ball 10 times and see what happens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like
Yeah. So we can use some of them. You just alley-ooped me and I just totally missed it. My bad. But yeah, use Tolbert and Turpin later on. So just in case anything happens at wide receiver, they could be getting their reps in for sure.
And that's what I've been saying, bro. Can I get Turpin to do a first down? Can I get him to get a first down? Can I get Tolbert to get a first down? Get him in a rhythm. Get that.
The answer
confidence.
Is
no. Man, like I said, when I was doing that film, bro, it was like Dak wasn't even looking at Tolbert's way, man. He wasn't even out there. He was just getting big boy, right? Like,
you keep lining up off sides, man.
Yeah,
you need to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, boy said he checked with the ref, man. I'm like, nah, you ain't checking no ref.
Referee lied to your ass. He said, "Nah, you good."
Nah, because Tolbert knew he wouldn't be involved in that play. He didn't even look, man. But hopefully the kid can get
together. The funny part, though, J-Tuck, the funny part, look, Tolbert did check with the ref. Tolbert looked at the ref. And he looked at the ball and he looked back at the ref like, "You sure?" But then he backed up anyway. It's like, ain't no way I'm on.
You didn't see all them gold helmets right there, man. I was like, bro, get him out the game.
Yeah, but they caught him.
Yeah,
they caught him.
What I'm saying. Tolbert's been going on my tab, man. And Voch, before I let you go, man, we got to go over to the linebacker core position because that's one of my favorite positions. And another guy who I think should get some more reps is Jabril Cox. And it's going to be kind of sparing since coming back from the injury, but Damone Clark's playing well. We saw what Anthony Barr did, last week. What is your thoughts on the linebacker core? Are you confident in this linebacker core for what we have currently in-house right now?
Jonathan Hankins make them dudes a little better.
That was a good pickup.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And funny enough, Carlos Watkins been one of your better double team taking up, D lineman or whatnot. So Van Der Esch, look, he may not be Michael Parsons, but he's playing some good football here. Damone Clark got a lot more reps. Anthony Barr came back and Clark just didn't go back to the bench, so that's a good sign. When the Cowboys beat it was the Vikings, I believe, then the backups came in, and whenever Brillo is active and he does get a chance to play, he's running around, he's making plays. It's just that, is Jabril better than Anthony Barr right now? I think we all think he might be, but the coaches don't seem to think so. So I'm just gonna trust the coaches, just roll with them. But if anything, I don't think Barr and Van Der Esch are going to be here next year. So there's going to have to be some, Jabril working in there with Clark or whatnot, and then Michael working in at linebacker whenever he's not playing in. So if Jabril doesn't get the work this year, he'll definitely get it next year. For sure.
Yeah, I think it's what a lot of people. Sometimes with these draft picks, man, you just got to be patient. You know, we want them all to play. We want them
He's
all
a fourth-round pick at the end of the day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want them all to boom, man. But when it comes to this defense, Voch, you know, we faced, Dalvin Cook. We just had Jonathan Taylor. We got Pierce coming up. Do you think that this whole shadow of the Dallas Cowboys not being able to stop the run is past us? Or are we still kind of hold tight to see what's going to happen versus Philly, the Titans, and some of those other teams?
I think the worst days that we had in the run game is when teams can run against us and the quarterback just can throw the ball just a little bit. You know, I think those are our worst run days. But even when we run into that, though, right? Like, take Green Bay, for example. It wasn't the run game that was like, it was hard. Like, it was hard to stop the run, but that wasn't killing us. It was the chunk plays. It was the AB plays, the Christian Watson plays that was killing us. You know, even the Colts game, right? You can't let Alec Pierce and some special team dudes get a touchdown on you. It wasn't Jonathan Taylor that got it for you, you know? So we talked about the biggest impediments, and I said I wasn't gonna say impediment more than twice, but that's two. Jonathan Taylor wasn't your problem. It was deep ball versus cornerback number 2. So that comes down to Kelvin Joseph. And to be fair, I asked this question on my show, and I can bring this to your audience. You can do whatever you want to do with this content. People used to ask, is Dan Quinn using Micah Parsons to his full potential? I'm asking, are we using Trey Diggs to his, right? Because I remember back in the Rex Ryan era, if you gave him Revis, he was like, all right, cool. I'm putting Revis on your number 1 corner, and I'm putting everybody else every damn where else, right? Deal with it, right? And we've come to a point these last few games, teams not even throwing that Trey. Like, they'll kind of, I'm pixelating again. My fault.
You good, man. You good.
Give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Give me 2
He heating up, man. He's heating up, man. Hey, salute to my guy Jerry Martinez with the super chat. Appreciate you. He says, J Tuck, I need one of those shirts. Yeah, CFOsportstalk.com, man, or they're right down below. Use the code CFOgang to get 10% off, man. I appreciate the super chat, my guy. Let's see here.
Shouts out to J Tuck and the shirts, man. Cop some merch, man.
Yeah.
What was I saying before I left, J Tuck? I was talking about
we were talking about
Dan Quinn and Trey Diggs, right? We're at a point to where they're not even throwing that Trey. You know what I mean? So in my mind, if your cornerback 2 need that much help, then just put Trey on a wide receiver and force them to throw the ball at Trey, right? Force these teams into throwing the ball at Trey. Right. And as far as the second corner, put safety help on him, put linebacker help over there, right? Because I mean, we've seen Trey Diggs shut down Justin Jefferson, shut down Michael Pittman, he shut down Jamar Chase. Like, he has a track record of taking dudes out the game. So let's take advantage of that. You know, we ain't always got to get Trey Diggs safety help. Put the safeties over there and let Trey run his one-on-ones, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, because I was doing the breakdown on Anthony Brown, man. I kept sounding like Malik Hooker and even Izzy McQuamu. They were shading over to help Trayvon Diggs. Like, nah, don't go help Diggs, man. You go help Anthony Brown over there. He's fighting for his life over there, man. So, you know, but Voch, you got to understand, if Diggs is that traveling corner shutting stuff down, that price comes with a price. It comes with an additional price. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to pay that, man. You don't have to pay that, man. Well, hey, my guy, man, I appreciate you for coming on. Like I said, man, you doing firework over here on the volume, man. One of my favorites doing this Cowboys content. Definitely give my guy a follow if you haven't already. Normally we try to do like predictions, bro, but we should, you know what I'm saying, win in this game. So the Dallas Cowboys, as I looked, it's like 17.5 point favorites to beat the Houston Texans. Do the Cowboys cover that?
Man, it's bad luck starting to talk about all these points favorites and all that kind of. But we should 17 a lot, and that's a lot for Vegas. You know, I wouldn't go with the coverage. Like we beat the Texans by 14 or something. I mean, that's a fine day, but 7. Yeah, let's beat them by 21. Yeah, who cares? Whatever. Let's do it. Let's
just get the win and get out this healthy. That's all I wanted. Just get the win, get out healthy, man. Let's move on week for week from Cowboy Station. So of course I got the Cowboys winning the game. I think they cover. You know, you might get a little, you know, fall off, you know, when Cooper Rush and them come in, kind of get them reps in the fourth quarter. Hopefully our starters ain't got to play all the way into the fourth quarter like they had to do on Sunday night, man. But I feel like the Cowboys should get this win, man. Hey, my guy, I appreciate you for coming by. Let everybody know where they can find you once again.
VOCHLOMBARDI on all social media platforms and YouTube, and check me out on the volume Monday through Thursday at 3 p.m. Central. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, appreciate you, my guy, man. Like I said, and definitely give my guy a follow. Do great. You been dropping any draft content yet?
Nope, it's too early. Cowboys winning.
I be kind of checking the landscape, man. See if anybody been dropping some draft content, man. I got a few in the clip, man. I'm kind of holding off. You know what I'm saying? But
too soon for me. I got you in January.
But you got to come to the draft next year, bro. It's here in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying?
We'll probably do a little show here. Probably just keep at the compound, you know.
We try to get you some KC barbecue, man. We try to get you some KC barbecue. But hey, everybody in the chat, man, I appreciate you for tuning in. You seeing me for the first time. CFO Sports. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the support. Merch store below. Cop your merch. CFOgang, get 10% off, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. Man, I want everyone to stay safe. Stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. Peace.